Alright, ZX10, let's get you on the road and talk about the things I don't like about you. Now guys, if you're looking at the title of this video and you're being like, Chase, why are you talking crap on a bike you just got done building? This video is not to talk about all the negatives about this bike, but more of the pain points of a Kawasaki ZX10 after going through the process of rebuilding one. You know, it's not like to say the bike is bad or anything like that. It's just every bike is unique and has some things that are nice or not so nice about the bike, and I need to get across the road before that guy crosses it. Low power mode, by the way, is it's insane. This bike is literally insane. It makes no sense. So yeah, first thing on the list is something that a lot of sport bikes have in common, and that is fairings. Now, yes, this bike has aftermarket fairings, but my statement stands even for OEM fairings that come on the bike. Fairings are just one of the biggest pains in the butt that exist for motorcycles. Do we not get to go? What is happening? That's one of the pros and cons about I'm just gonna go ahead and follow this Lexus, so if they get hit, I don't get hit because they got body work. But yeah, all you guys that are riding sport bikes know fairings just suck in general. I'm not gonna lie, fairings are one of the main reasons that I am personally wanting to switch to a naked bike. They are a pain to get on, they're a pain to take off, and to do most work on any super sport, you gotta take fairings off. And that is a giant pain. Like my Supermoto takes me like 4 minutes to take all the fairings off, and I can do whatever I need to do with that bike. Bikes like this, they take forever. Also, they are hella expensive. Granted, in defense of fairings, they do make the bike look really freaking cool. So I'll give you that. I love the gray tones we have on this bike. I can't stand doing any work on the bike. And remember, the majority of my time with this motorcycle has been spent working on it, not, you know, riding it. So that's why the fairings are a major pain point. So next up in the, oh my lord, in the list of things, let's call them pain points, about the Kawasaki ZX10 is, oh, you guys are probably going to crucify me for this. The bike, at least the one we've built, is a little too powerful. Now, I do want to say that the bike is awesome and has traction control and it has power mode. So we've got the bike in low power mode right now, so that's awesome, right? We can customize how much power we want to be getting from the motorcycle. The only problem is the bike is currently in low power mode and it is still a monster. We are here on the highway, conveniently. We're going to get on the highway in low power mode just so you guys can understand what I'm saying, because you would think low power mode, sweet, should drop us down into something easily manageable. Nope. And I won't say it's not easily manageable, but do you see those numbers and that little color thing? You can't let this bike get past 6, because this is what happens. Low power mode. If you're curious and you're watching this video and you might not have been able to tell what just happened, in low power mode, the wheel, the front wheel, under moderate acceleration, just came up in first and second gear. I do want to reiterate, moderate acceleration, nowhere near pinning the throttle. Again, low power mode. So the bike's a little too quick. You know, I would be fine with having a high power just be a beast and everything, and like if you want to go try to kill yourself, good luck if you're at a track day. And then, you know, medium is just a little toned down, but you can still get squirrely. And then I want low power mode to just be like dumb amount of power loss. I'm okay with that. Like, that's what I want power modes for. You guys have probably heard me complain about this in previous videos, but if you give me power modes, I expect there to be a massive difference between those modes. So the power modes, at least for ours, not the best. So since we just talked about power modes, second up in my list, we're going to talk about power delivery. So when I say power delivery, I mean how much throttle do I have to turn to get power out of the bike, and how is that power delivered? The ZX10 here is let's call it a polarizing motorcycle. So what I mean by polarizing is the bike has a very on-off feel. Either you're on the throttle or you're off the throttle. Watch, like, I'm trying to be smooth here, and there's still just a yank forward, even with me trying to be smooth with the throttle, even with me being in low power mode. There's just not much room for being very smooth with the bike, you know what I mean? Like, if you're coming into a turn and you need to throttle down and go through the turn, you have to get at entry speed, and then it's safest to get on the throttle before you get into the turn, because with this type of bike, if you do that, if those little jumps in the middle of a turn, you know, if you're going hard, that's not going to be a good time. So I do wish the throttle response was a little more linear. I wish it was longer. I wish I could, you know, play with the throttle, you know what I mean? Instead of it just being an on or an off button. I need that dimmer switch, you know, if we're going to compare it to something like a light bulb. You know what's frustrating? This cold weather makes a GoPro battery die so quickly. ZX10, I'm in this cool spot. My GoPro battery died 30 minutes after I started it because of how cold it is. I guess the batteries just don't last. So that's why there's this abrupt, like, Chase is driving down the highway, and then out of nowhere, I'm sitting in a cool parking spot. Parking spot. So guys, I'm going to try to recap all the things. I just looked at my phone and I saw where the GoPro died, and I'm just going to try to re-say the things I said without writing right now, because I'm going to have to get an external battery for this GoPro if I'm going to record out here in the cold. The batteries just don't last. What I did say is I forgot that a lot of you guys might not even know what Wrecked Bike Rebuild is, and you might have clicked on this video because you're a fan of the ZX10, which justifiably, it's an amazing motorcycle. But if you guys are curious, me and my team actually built this motorcycle up. It's part of a show we do called Wrecked Bike Rebuild. We take wrecked motorcycles, we build them up, and we're supported via our Patreon page. And then when the bike is finished, we give the bike back to the supporters. We choose somebody, and they actually are the new owners of the motorcycle. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll drop a link down below. But so the last thing I said was we were talking about the power. It was very polarizing, you know, on or off. Another thing that I brought up with this motorcycle is the electronics. Now, electronics are going to be a pros and cons type of situation. We're talking about a new age motorcycle, a new age leader bike. This thing, regardless of how good you think you can ride, this bike is far more powerful than anybody should ever use on the street. I'm going to park it against the wall so I can get another photo, 1, and 2, so I can talk about it without having to look out into the bright death that is. So electronics on this bike are a double-edged sword. I am in the personal belief that a motorcycle of this power, of this magnitude, at least for street riding, definitely needs rider aids. So you're talking like ABS, you're talking traction control, you're talking like it's got an intervalometer in it to know like where the electronics are nuts. Now the reason that's a good thing is because it keeps people that buy these motorcycles safe, because you ain't that good at riding, trust me. Now the thing that sucks about that is making the bike less end-user serviceable than a traditional bike with less electronics. When you take anything off, now not only are you going to have to take the thing off, but you're also going to have to take off all the electronics that have to do with that. For instance, if you take off the wheel, the bike's got ABS, you're going to have to take into consideration all the electronics that are talking to that piece of the motorcycle, and you're going to have to make sure you put those on correctly. This shouldn't be that big of a deal, as long as when you do work on this bike, or a bike like this, you know, another bike with lots of tech stuff in it, you just got to be really careful. Use your user manual and do it step by step, and that way the user manual should help you make sure you put everything back together. The huge pain in the butt about the electronics on this bike, while they are super advanced, it also makes it a motorcycle that you cannot end user fix or install things without having to go to a dealer. So for instance, let's just say you have to unplug the quick shifter to install something. It doesn't matter. And to check that if you install that new thing correctly, you have to turn the bike on and check it. You know, just whatever. So when you turn the bike on, the ECU is going to say, the quick shifter there's an issue with the quick shifter. Let me throw an error code so that the person running the motorcycle knows there's a problem. That error code can only be taken off by a Kawasaki dealer with a computer with like Windows 87 on it and Kawasaki software. It would be nice if Kawasaki was just like, hey, you can download this program. This simple installation that you were doing, you now have to take your bike to the dealer, which you're probably going to get charged for, just because you needed to wipe an error code. Trust me, here's all it is. There's a plug in the back and there's a plug in the front. You're going to take it to a dealer. They're going to plug it into the laptop. The laptop's going to be like, it seems as if the quick shifter is messed up. They're going to push one button that says, can you double check the quick shifter? Because it should be working. And the bike's going to be like, oh, it looks like the quick shifter is working. Never mind, let me wipe that error code. And that's literally all they do. So that part of it sucks. You can't do installations and then finish it and then go ride the bike, because now your bike's gonna have an error code. So that's the double-edged sword with the electronics. It's amazing and damn near required to have them. It also makes working on the bike a little more complicated. Now, after I take this photo, I'm going to talk to you guys about the final thing. That there's a cop over on the right side. I imagine that I'll be told to leave by that cop in a second. How's it going, sir?
You saw the chains, right?
No, I came in up there.
Be careful, there's chains linked in between the poles.
Uh-huh.
And if you go to get out of here and don't see it. I mean, even looking back here, man, you can kind of see it, but if
yeah, I can see that one. Yeah, absolutely.
trip you up.
I appreciate the warning, man. Have a good one. All right, now that I know not to hit the chains, shout out to that officer, dude. So I can head out of here now. Damn, look at that bike, son. Man, I do want to say, like, I know this is a video about the things I dislike about the ZX10, but man, I gotta say, of the leader bikes, I feel like this is the best leader bike out right now, just the ZX10 as a thing. But this bike is probably the bike I am the most proud of. Like, being able to swap an entire frame out, you know, thanks to Brian helping me out and Luke and, you know, the whole team. But just, I'm really proud of what we ended up with this bike. So, final thing I'll say about the ZX10 is the turning radius, or how much you can turn the handlebars. Actually, you know what? The cop's gone. Let's just let's pretend we're gonna go that way and the exhaust might happen to be against a wall. This will be a good spot to keep that in mind. I'm gonna try to move the motorcycle from here to here, and I'm not gonna stand turn it. Watch how long it takes with the handlebars. Like, that's all they can move. So it's this constant back and forth, because it just can't move a lot. Now, when you're on the highway, stuff like that doesn't matter. But when you're in a small area or moving it around your garage, dude, it's such a pain in the butt. All right, we're in neutral. I want to be here to experience everything. By the way, we have a Graves full system on this bike with a Graves tune. Without any further ado, I give you the sound of my people. God almighty! lady. Oh my Lord. Insanity is what that sounds like, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I'm gonna go ride around the little parking lot here and show you guys what I'm talking about. Like I said, on the highway, the steering doesn't really matter that much, you know, or even going in a parking lot. But, you know, let's just pretend we were doing this for realsies, and I'm coming to the end of a turn, and you're going slow in a parking lot. You know, you stop looking for traffic. Now, you gotta, if you know what you're doing and you can like lean against the turn, it's fine. But, you know, you just don't have a ton of room with the handlebars. And I've found myself in multiple situations where I'm going really slow and I just need a little more space, or my hand, do you guys see how my hand is hitting against the tank right here? It ends up having to bend in, and I don't know, it's just not the most comfortable bike as far as like turning the handlebars back and forth. That's honestly it. I might have left some things out, but off the top of my head, those are all the things about the 2017 ZX10 that I'm just woo glass, that I'm just really not a fan of. What I'm interested in is anybody watching this video, if you guys have a 2017 ZX10, let me know what y'all's least favorite things and most favorite things about the bike are. Like, you can love a bike and you can still have some things about it that you absolutely can't stand. Guys, I'm Chaseontwowheels. This is the Season 2 bike for Wrecked Bike Rebuild. I'm actually going to be giving it away, or letting the winner know who won it in a couple days. This will be the last time you guys see me on the bike. And yeah, shout out to all my Patreon people again. You know, you guys are freaking MVP. Y'all allow that series to even be a thing and to continue to happen, and I really appreciate that. I promise I'm going to keep making the best possible episodes, and I'm going to keep making that show as good as I possibly can. But if you guys got to this point in the video, please make sure to hit that like button. It actually really does help the YouTube video out, and it lets me know that I'm making the right type of content that you guys want to see. Anyways, guys, you guys go out there and ride positive. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.